The launch ceremony of the Southern Gas Corridor project, which involves the delivery of Azerbaijani gas to Europe, was held in Baku on May 29th. The first stage of the project involves the transportation of gas from the Shah Deniz field along the South Caucasus and then the Trans-Anatolian pipelines to the Turkish city of Eskişehir. Today our guest Vitaly Baylarbayov, SOCAR Deputy Vice President for Investments and Marketing, and Joe Murphy, BP Vice President for Southern Gas Corridor, will talk about the significance of this project and its benefits to Azerbaijan region and Europe. Mr. Vitaly Baylarbayov, what is the Southern Gas Corridor project and which companies are involved in this project? And let's give some insight into this project.
Thank you, Bakhtiar, for this question, and thanks for having us today at CBC. Southern Gas Corridor project is the biggest so far energy project of our country, but it's also one of the biggest energy projects of the world. More than 40,000 people are working alongside the long value chain comprising approximately 4,000 kilometers, starting in the Caspian Sea and ending in Italy. The project is also not one of the biggest energy projects of the world, but it's also one of the biggest long-term investments which will bring prosperity to the companies working alongside the route, companies who are buyers and recipients of our gas, but obviously to the people of Azerbaijan, whose sovereign resources are developed by the consortium of companies working on Shah Deniz.
So, Mr. Murphy, what is your role in the Southern Gas Corridor project, and what can you say about BP's role in the realization of the entire project?
Sure. Thank you very much for being here today. I'm the Vice President responsible for working with the partners, with the governments and with the technical teams to ensure delivery of the Southern Gas Corridor on time, keeping to the schedule and managing the budget. Of course, this is a huge project spanning 6 countries. 11 partners, 11 buyers, and making sure that that value chain is complete, making sure everybody's working to the same intent is absolute paramount. BP and SOCAR are the 2 partners that are in each chain of this, each component of this value chain. So BP and SOCAR are united and stand united in all elements of it to make sure that we deliver this on schedule.
And I probably, ahead of you asking the next question, should add that works SOCAR and BP are jointly doing were so far very successful, because we managed to deliver this project practically slightly ahead of the schedule, but significantly below the budget.
Absolutely, and very, very importantly, safely.
And this question will be to both of you. So, Mr. Joe Murphy, what do you think about the economic and geostrategic importance of this project?
Yeah, this is probably one of the projects of the highest geopolitical importance currently going on in the energy sector. This is not only linking a new source of gas into Europe, but this is strategically linking and physically linking Azerbaijan with Europe itself. I mean, this is, on any level, this is an incredible feat of engineering, but it's also an incredible feat of working for a common cause for the energy supply into Europe, for diversification, and bringing SOCAR BP closer together, even closer together than we already are, and bringing us into Europe together as partners.
So, Mr. Baylarbayov, what's your opinion in this regard?
Of course, I'm absolutely supportive and I share everything Joe said, but I wanted to highlight as well that this is long-term partnership. This is more than 25 years partnership, and I'm sure that Southern Gas Corridor will be further developed. What we are delivering now is the first phase of the corridor, which goes into Turkey. Then we will continue it into Europe by 2020. But this is also not the end of the corridor. The corridor will expand, as will expand our cooperation with BP and the partnership working alongside the route.
So, Mr. Baylarbayov, aside from access to new markets, how else does the Southern Gas Corridor benefit Azerbaijan?
Well, access to the new markets is important, but not less important for us is the fact that we have vast resources, both oil, condensate and gas, which clearly will be developed more intensively with the startup of the Southern Gas Corridor. So that opens new era for the Azerbaijani next wave of the oil and gas fields coming now on stream. And again, here we're working together with BP, but here we're working also with the other partners, with Total from France, for example, developing together with us the Absheron field. SOCAR itself develops Umid and Babek fields, again with the same purpose of bringing them on stream. And the premier way of implementing that is to transport what we will be producing through the Southern Gas Corridor. Plus, of course, we welcome the interest of the other producers, non-Azerbaijani producers, if they will be interested in joining the corridor and transporting what they will be producing from their fields.
That's good.
May I just add to that? I think there's also been a fantastic step in most of the construction work has been carried out here in Baku. And what we've created now is a local workforce that is very skilled and able to meet the challenges of future projects, as Vitaly talks about. We have an incredibly skilled workforce of local Azerbaijanis being able to do these jobs.
So, Mr. Murphy, is there any plan by BP to join other block of offshore fields in the Azerbaijani sector of the Caspian Sea to SGC project in the future?
So the Caspian is hugely rich in terms of resources, and BP have worked with SOCAR and with the government of Azerbaijan for a long time, and we hope to continue to work with the government and SOCAR for a long time and further look at those resources, economically produce those resources and meet the supply demands of Europe, meet the supply demands of Turkey, meet the supply demands of Azerbaijan. We'll work together to go through all of those resources.
BP has currently 3 exploration projects which they recently started to implement between 2015 and now. This is obviously Shafaga-Siman, this is shallow water Absheron Peninsula, and this is recently signed, not less than months ago, signed block D230. All of those will constitute significant prospect for the further development of the relationships between the two companies.
So, Mr. Murphy, what do you think? What are the benefits to Azerbaijan from the Southern Gas Corridor project?
So, I mean, the benefits are multiple. Let's start right at the grassroots. This has created, as I mentioned earlier, a skilled workforce, created a really deep technical workforce that can be used to further develop future projects. This has created incredible alliances with other countries across Europe in the delivery of this project. This has created a physical, strategic tie to Europe. And this is demonstrated beyond all expectations about the capacity with which Azerbaijan can build mega projects, mega energy projects, which many people thought years ago was not going to be possible to build a project of this scale. And BP and SOCAR are delighted to say that we're on schedule with this, we're under budget on this, and delivering something that's both technically and politically extremely challenging.
If I may add again, for the centuries, we were known to the world as oil producer. In certain periods of our history, we were one of the world leading oil producers. Now we are entering with the establishment of the Southern Gas Corridor of the new era in the modern Azerbaijan, where we becoming the very well-known, significant gas producer and exporter. So Azerbaijan is playing now in the energy market role of the well-established producers of both oil and gas, and I would even say that role of gas in the future developments of Azerbaijan will be much higher than we had it before.
This question will be to both of you. How confident are you in your ability to deliver the gas to Europe in 2020?
I'm extremely confident that we'll deliver the TAP pipeline, which will give gas into Europe in 2020. We're working that on a daily basis. We're already 72% complete. We're working in Greece, we're working in Albania, and we're working in Italy. We're confident of the timeline.
This is our job, this is our task, and this is also a task of those who is implementing this on the European side of the project, to make sure that the project will be delivered in time and within the budget, as we successfully did it so far within Azerbaijan, on the territory of Georgia and on the territory of Turkey. And I would like again to thank BP and Joe for the great cooperation we so far had.
Thanks, Vitaly.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comprehensive replies. You are watching CBC's interview program. Our guests were talking about the significance and benefits of the Southern Gas Corridor project.